What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm giving you my review of the Lindell Audio Lin2a. So if you couldn't tell by the name or even by looking at this for a few seconds, this is a LA2A style classic opto compressor. And what's different with this compressor versus the many other LA2A style compressors on the market is that this one features Blackline Audio's T4 opto cell. The T4 opto cell is what determines the attack and release in an opto compressor, and Blackline Audio developed their own after trying out the many other opto cells on the market and just not being pleased with any of them. So this compressor features that T4 opto cell that you can purchase separately for $99 and put in. It's compatible with a lot of other opto LA2A style compressors, but it comes already in this compressor here. And I've been curious to try out this T4 opto cell and see how different does it really sound to me versus other LA2A style compressors that I have used. So I'll be giving my thoughts on that, of course, later on in this review. But for right now, let's take a closer look at this. So here's the front panel of the Lin2a. If you're familiar with an LA2A style compressor, we're not doing anything different here at all. This is the exact same controls you'll see on an LA2A. Limit and compress switch. You've got your gain, peak reduction. These do have a detent to them, which should make for easy recall. You've got your power switch and your switch to go between gain reduction and your output metering. Noticeably missing from this is a pre-emphasis knob. It is not on the back. On the back you have your TRS connections for input and output, which I'm not a fan of. I'd prefer XLR. I just have more XLR cables around here than TRS or XLR to TRS. And you have your for your power supply, internal power supply as well. And your meter calibration is on the back. The meter calibration being on the back, this is something that I complained about with the Warm Audio LA2A, and I guess they watched my review because they started to put the pre-emphasis as well as the meter adjust on the front of the unit. I just complained how difficult it is to adjust the meter or calibrate the meter when you're messing with it in the back and you can't see what's going on in the front. So I'd prefer to have the meter adjust on the front of the unit. To me, in my opinion, it would just make calibrating the meter just a whole lot easier. All right, let's take let me also note that this gets pretty warm. So there are vents on top. If you're going to rack this, make sure you leave a space above it to allow the unit to vent. All right, let's take a listen to how this sounds. So we'll start with vocals. I've got a vocal here from Simone Curry, and I will first play this bypass so you can hear what it sounds like without any compression, and then we'll add in the Lin2a. So this is the vocal bypassed.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so let's bring in the Lin2a. Definitely those last couple phrases definitely need some compression to smooth it out. We've got the gain at 30. We'll set the peak reduction. We'll start at 60, and we'll go from there. We're on compress. So we're going to do this. I'll probably do this at 60 and then 80 and then 100 so you can hear it with the peak reduction all the way at 100 as far as it can go. Not a typical setting I would use for a vocal, but just so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, this is the Lin2a. We're at gain 30 and peak reduction 60.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, doing a good job of controlling it. Let's give it some more gain reduction.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so far getting really smooth and transparent compression, what you would expect from an LA2A style compressor. Let's bring this all the way and see what we get now.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so starting to hear the compression there, but it's not sounding squash. If I gave it enough more makeup gain here, then we can definitely even everything back out. But even with this all the way up at 100, we're not getting a bad sound. We're going to switch over to limit, and one thing I'll say with the warm WA2A, when I've switched between compress and limit, I couldn't really hear a difference, which I should, with the compression being at 3-to-1 and the limiting being a much higher ratio. We'll see what we get with the Lin2a. I think we should be at about 70 here. Let's bring that gain back down some. All right, let's listen to this now in limit.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so definitely hearing it is starting to feel a little grabby. Well, let's just go all the way and hear what it sounds like with that on limit. And I'm assuming this should be a lot more grabby on the attack. Let's see what we got.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so definitely hearing a difference there. That is definitely sounding like a limiter there. We're going to bring this back down. And let's give it one more listen at a lower peak reduction on limit.
I'm alone in my house. I'm out on the town. I'm at the bottom of a bottle. I've been knocking them down.
All right, so I really like that I can hear the difference between this compress and limit, and you can hear even with it turned all the way up with the peak reduction, it's not a bad sound that we're getting there. All right, let's check this out on some bass, because with the LA2A style compressor, you got to hear it on bass. All right, so for this bass, we're going to start off with it. All right, so definitely hearing some parts that I'm hoping that the Lin2a will bring up and smooth this out. There's definitely some uneven parts which compressor should fix. So let's go with, we'll start with peak reduction at 60 and gain at 40. And I'll probably adjust this as we go depending on what I'm hearing. But let's turn on let's put the Lin2a in and hear what it does. All right, I'm going to dial that in a little more. I'm still hearing it, still feels a little. Okay, that's better. So I think this is doing a really good job of leveling this out. With LA2A style compressors, you don't have to do that much compression, and normally between 5 and 7 dB is kind of the sweet spot with those type of compressors, as we see here with this bass. Going back to the vocal, it did a really good job of evening it out as well, and the more you drive this, you will get some color. But what I love about opto compressors and LA2A style compressors are when it does that compression, and you see we were doing anywhere between 5 and 10 dB compression on the vocal. It was a very smooth and transparent compression that we were getting. So definitely 2 thumbs up for how this handles vocals as well as bass. All right, let's get into some final thoughts. So final thoughts on the Lin2a. I'll start off by saying this definitely exceeded my expectations, and I think a lot of this that I like with this compressor has to do with the T4 opto cell from Blackline Audio, because the attack and release on this is just perfect for me. When I had the WA2A, the warm audio one, I felt like it released a little too long for me, but this one I feel is just right, and I feel like that is coming from that T4 opto cell that's in this compressor. Things that I don't like, I've already talked about the TRS input and output on the back. I'd prefer XLR. The meter adjust, I'd prefer that to be on the front. With no pre-emphasis knob really isn't a big deal to me. I really don't fool with that on LA2A style compressors anyway. But if that's something that is important to you, then take note that it is not here on this compressor. Let's talk about price range. This is coming in right in the middle as far as LA2A style compressors go. It's coming in at $699. Below that, we have the Golden Age 2A, we have the Clark Technic, and then above that, you have compressors such as the Audioscape as well as the Warm Audio. So this is sitting right in that middle range, which I think is a strategic move, because if you're looking at the Warm Audio or the Audioscape, and those are around $800-900, and you're looking at this at $700, you're definitely going to take a closer look at this with it being a couple $100 less. So definitely comment and let me know what you think. I was impressed by this. Comparing it to the Manley ELOP, the Manley ELOP sounds more polished and hi-fi to me, but the Manley ELOP is also, I don't know, 3 times the price and 2 channels of this. But I did want to compare it to the ELOP because that is another take on the LA2A style compressor. But this Lin2a, definitely something I would recommend for tracking vocals for sure, especially singing vocals. As y'all know, I love opto compressors, and after using this one for a few weeks, I can definitely say that I'd recommend this one. So definitely comment and let me know what you thought about the Lin2a, and if you're using a LA2A style compressor, which one are you using? And definitely comment and let me know if you're thinking about picking up the Lin2a after hearing this review. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.